Well, that's it. You all have your degrees. You could leave now, but I know you're too polite to do that because you want to hear my 45-minute speech before you go out into the world. Actually, I've decided to depart from my speech that I worked on so hard for the last several days because actually after hearing Aaron's speech, how could I possibly follow that or top it? And I won't show you what I'm wearing under my robe. Yeah. All right, so now he's cracking jokes behind me. Thank you, Aaron. You're right, I am rethinking that invitation now. Actually, I was going to talk about three people. Aaron was the first one. Enough said. Nothing else I have to say. The second was Randy Pausch, and I was just going to point out to you that one of the great metaphors he left us with was the idea of brick walls. What Randy said was brick walls were not put up to stop you. They were put up to test how much you wanted something. And he in particular said they'd probably stop a lot of people, but at Carnegie Mellon, we see them simply as an enhanced challenge. That was Randy. But of course, Randy meant much more than that to us. You will remember, the undergraduates, or I should say, the new bachelor's recipients, that Randy died in the summer after your freshman year. So you were still touched by Randy. You still had him in your lives for a little bit. Aaron and Randy. I could stop there. That's pretty good role models for you to think about. People who are also Carnegie Mellon alumni now, just the way you are. But there's a third person I want to talk about, but this will take a little bit longer to provide the context. Here at Carnegie Mellon, we emphasize in our curricula deep content knowledge, problem-solving ability, awareness of the world's needs, self-sufficiency, and determined motivation. And each of these you could see as seeds in what Aaron told you about in his own experience. And if you remember Randy's last lecture and the wisdom he imparted, this should sound familiar as well. These elements, though, also represent the recipe for an entrepreneur. Carnegie Mellon has been doing entrepreneurship, teaching, and research since at least the 1970s. But it's really just in the last few years that this has begun to enter the mainstream of student dreams and career plans here. Starting a business is now a widely shared ambition, both among students and young faculty. And that's great news for America and for the world because it's new companies that are the major generators of new jobs and a stronger economy. They're also the generator of ideas that are the basis for improved lives and our work. They're a very important part of the economy and in the lives we lead. Carnegie Mellon's done a great deal in recent years to improve the campus and Pittsburgh climate for company creation. Under the leadership of Vice President Richard McCullough, who's a company founder himself, we've been building and enriching what Rick calls the innovation ecosystem. Adding to the long-standing and internationally recognized Don Jones Center in the Tepper School, which gives students vital skills for starting companies, we now have Project Olympus in the School of Computer Science, created and led by Professor Lenore Blum, in programs and courses in innovation in CIT. We have a revamped technology transfer office and improved technology transfer policy, which has become a model for other universities across the country. In fact, Carnegie Mellon now ranks second in the country in terms of the number of startup companies we create each year per dollar of sponsored research. Most of you may be thinking, well, that's nice, but what does it have to do with me? Indeed, that's why I brought up the topic. While we've been building the innovation ecosystem, we've not yet reached out in a concerted way to the student body or our alumni. Nor, I have to admit, is Carnegie Mellon necessarily the first place you think of when you want to go someplace to learn to be an entrepreneur, even if the training, in fact, that you get here prepares you to be one very well indeed. Well, today we're going to change that. Jonathan Kaplan was sitting where you are now 21 years ago, about to receive his degree in a self-defined major that included business administration, engineering, and design. He was already an entrepreneur as a student. Jonathan's most recent venture was the company that created and sold the Flip video camera, one of the most successful products of all time. Jonathan became wealthy from the success of the Flip, but he's not only an entrepreneur. He and his wife, Marcy Glazer, like you, care deeply about the world around them, and they're using their wealth to make a difference in the world. This would be admirable in any person, but it's remarkable to me for someone as young as Jonathan and Marcy. Jonathan cares about this university, and he's joining with us today to help spark entrepreneurship here, to make Carnegie Mellon the destination for entrepreneurs. I'm pleased to announce today that Jonathan and Marcy have made a very generous donation to create what we will call the Open Field Entrepreneurs Fund. It will be used to invest in startup companies of recent CMU graduates. That would be you. And when you're successful like Jonathan, we expect you to contribute back to the fund, to replenish it, to build the fund back up so we can keep supporting future alumni. Of course, if you hit it really big, we'll be happy to talk to you about other ways you can leave your legacy at Carnegie Mellon University. Well, not only was Jonathan sitting here 21 years ago, but he's actually sitting here today as well. I'd like him to rise. Now, he's somewhere way back there. Jonathan, oh, he's waving. Keep 2 hands, Jonathan. Our thanks to you, Jonathan, and to Marcy for creating this fund. We really do think this will be an important catalyst, not just in the individual companies that some of you will create, and we hope you'll take advantage of the fund. By the way, go to the CMU website /openfield, and it's already up. You'll get the information. We hope you'll take advantage of it, but we hope, and Jonathan hopes, and we believe it will make a mark for Carnegie Mellon and say to the world, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is the place to come. We know that to be true, but now the world will know it as well. Aaron Ralston, Randy Pausch, and Jonathan Kaplan. It's quite a group, and you're now one of them, which is to say you're an alumnus or alumna of Carnegie Mellon University. It's a source of pride, but it also means you have the tools, experience, and habits of mind to be successful. You know the meaning and value of hard work. You are problem solvers and collaborators. You are innovators. You are entrepreneurs. Like Aaron, like Jonathan, like Randy, you are prepared to do great things, to deal with the most difficult situations, to live a life of meaning and purpose, and to make a difference in the world. We, your university, will be watching you with great pride. Once again, great congratulations and all the best to all of you.